both had the chance to play Gears Tactics.
Yes.
And I would like to talk about your first impressions on Gears Tactics because watching you both play it makes me... I downloaded it as a result.
Yeah.
But is it as good as it looks? Let's start with Mr. McSpicy. Give me your first impressions, your thoughts, your feelings on Gears Tactics.
Okay, spoiler alert, I really like it.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, now we can get into the meat and gritty. Good stuff. The game is... I love XCOM style games, right? I love the kind of overview, kind of tabletop, move characters around. You roll the dice, or in this case, there's a percentage. If you hit the shots that you hit, you have different abilities, right? You can move the map around and look at different things. This is if XCOM was a Gears of War game.
Sure.
Right? So it has a Gear skin over the top of it. The great thing about this game is it's not an exact copy of an XCOM game. I feel as though how they changed certain mechanics of the game made it feel really fresh to me. I mean, I do enjoy XCOM, but having it modified in a way that I felt were some really good changes.
Sure. What can you give me an example of something that's modified that you really enjoyed?
Yeah. So you're based on an action. It's like an action point system.
Okay.
A move requires an action point. Shooting requires an action point. Reload requires an action point. You can, if you don't move, you can shoot 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, however many action points your little characters have.
Can you pull those action points for your next turn?
No.
So they do.
But
its turn.
you can do executions just like in Gears, the game.
Okay.
And if you have a character do an execution on a bad guy, it gives all your other teammates an extra action point.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
You
So
can
that's the
actually
reward.
leapfrog your people, and continue your turn by strategizing when to use executions.
Okay.
What I really like about it, and it's extremely satisfying, is when you set up how I really like how the Overwatch works. And
Sure.
Overwatch in like XCOM game is if they come into your field of vision, your people can take a shot.
I like that.
At them running or moving or whatever. You can control distance on Overwatch in this, whereas XCOM you couldn't. So, for example, if somebody had a shotgun in XCOM, they would shoot a guy running really far away, and the odds are you wouldn't ever hit them because the percentage is really low. But you can control the distance of your Overwatch, so you can have the shotgun person only shoot if they come close to you.
That's cool.
And
That's really cool.
The best part about it is it uses as many actions as you were left having.
Okay.
So, for example, you can, if you all are in position and you know these people are going to be coming from a certain direction, you can create an ambush zone and have 4 people all have 3 actions on Overwatch to shoot 3 times. Well, that's 12 shots. And one of the most satisfying things I've done in that game is set up an ambush zone, and all these, Gears baddies come running in, and
you just
slaughter them. Just the whole map is destroyed because you had 12 shots, and when that person dies, it triggers on the next person, and it is so satisfying to set up in a completely cool ambush zone from Overwatch just because of how the point system works in this game. So it's the same style of game as like an XCOM game, but it has those different flavorful changes that I think really refresh the game for me.
That is cool. That is really cool. Jordan, you find a similar experience to Spicy, or what are your first impressions of the game? Can we let's pull up a trailer of some gameplay of it as well.
I can do that.
No, I think Mark's right. It's really fun. So it's basically XCOM with Gears, right? I mean, but like you said, more, right? They have a few different features. It's not just like an XCOM ripoff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a very well crafted tactical game.
Yeah.
Like it's really good.
And everywhere that I see likes it. They say XCOM has a little bit better of a story and background. But Gears gameplay mechanics are on point.
This one has and I was telling people yesterday, if you like XCOM, you'll like this game. If you like Gears, you'll like this game, right?
Yeah.
So if you like Gears and have not played XCOM, one of the cool things in this game is, and I don't know how they do it. Well, I mean, I know how they do it, right? But it actually, even in a tactical-based game like this, it feels like Gears of War.
It does.
It really does.
Well, because you have the ground just collapse, and then minions start coming out of the ground, and you need to use your grenades to stop the flow of enemies coming through on those holes in the ground.
If you even look like we're watching the gameplay demo right now, when they run, they do that CNN cam run, like they're crouched down
when
running.
They shoot when it goes to a shoot.
They slam into cover still. Like it feel obviously the aesthetics, right? But it feels like a Gears of War world, right? Like you're in a Gears of War game, right? The story takes place, before the events of the first one. I actually found this out yesterday, but you're actually the main character in this game is Kate Diaz's father.
Oh, okay.
Which is the girl in the new games, right? So,
So
a little tie in
the
there.
story's excellent too.
Yeah, the story's really good. The game's fun. I like Mark. I love that Overwatch and how you can ambush people. And when I found out that you could use your things, I have this guy who he has the mulcher, right? Which is big. Yeah, he just stands in one spot.
Tyrone is awesome.
Yeah.
We're watching an execution right now. Yeah, and so now. Because he just executed that person, now all your other teammates have an extra action point.
Very cool.
So like Mark was saying with the Overwatch, there's this character that you can get, and you can build characters just like in XCOM and stuff like that, right? But he has basically a heavy machine gun, and I don't really move him that much because I put him on Overwatch a lot.
Yeah.
And if the more actions he's left over, the more Overwatch shots he can take, right? So if you leave him at 3 actions plus do an execution, now he has 4 actions, right? It turns into a good time. Another fun detail about executions, which I also found out yesterday, you will execute with whatever you're holding currently because you can swap weapons. So you can usually have your primary weapon, your secondary weapon. I didn't realize I was holding a grenade because I threw a grenade the last match or the last turn, and I just went in for an execution, and I choked this poor guy with my grenade. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know it was with your specific weapon. So there's a lot of cool details there's a lot of cool details like that. That they do, which makes it feel like a Gears game. It's really well done. It really is. It's a lot of fun. Right now, it's only on the PC. Everybody's asking me when's it coming to console. I don't know, but we do know it's coming to console.
We know it's coming to console. We just don't know when.
We were spitting out theories the other day about maybe they'll use it as a launch title for Series X, but I really don't know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? But it will come to the console later. So.
Well, it's good to know that it's just not an XCOM skin, right? They took their time to make this its own game and did a good job with it.
With its own story and own lore.
Let me ask you this. Is there multiplayer?
No, that's the one thing.
One thing we don't like. Me and Jordan discussed
because that would be sweet.
Because multiplayer in this game is literally 3D chess. It's or in these types of games, it's really fun. Also, fun fact. Also, something I found out yesterday. Did you know you can rename your characters?
You can. Yeah, I don't want to because
then you feel attached to them.
Yeah, because they're. They actually. I mean, all their names have middle names in quotations, which I think is the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Tyrone the Gun Johnson. But I do have one question for you because I've never gotten to this point just yet. Now, when your character dies, just like in Gears, they go into a down state and you can revive them.
Yeah.
It depends on your difficulty level.
Okay.
It depends on your difficulty level.
Okay.
Yeah. They even have, just like in XCOM, they have an Iron Man mode, which I will play through this and beat it first before I even attempt that because Iron Man mode is crazy in XCOM. I've never been able to beat.
There's a certain character who's in a lot of cutscenes with you, and I was actually thinking that myself. I was like, well, if he dies in mission 1,
how would that work in Iron Man mode
with you? You know what I mean? Or is he just still there and they
you
realize
he just has him talk to himself?
Yeah, he looks around. Oh, I killed that guy.
It changes the story drastically.
Because right now, if I'm just on normal mode, right? I didn't read that. I always usually just go normal mode first, right? Because I figure it's how the game was intended to be played, right? So on normal mode, they go down and they have a meter. Every turn, that meter goes down. What happens when they die? Have you had that happen to you yet?
No, I have not.
Yeah,
I actually haven't.
I usually revive them right away because you can self-revive, right? But
I mean, in XCOM, the soldier dies. It's possible that this is the case. Okay, this is what I think. Okay, I don't know if this is true, but you have 2 different types of soldiers that you can play with. They have your hero types, which are your main character heroes, and then you have your soldiers, which are your troops, and those probably can die willy-nilly.
That's
but
Tyrone.
Tyrone is one of those. But if they die, or if your heroes die, I'll bet you have to go to a game save, or in Iron Man, your game just ends.
Yeah,
that's my guess on how it happens. I gotta also add, they have a really cool skill tree that you can totally customize out each character that you have. I think it's way better than XCOM's ability tree. The ability tree in XCOM, you have either A or B, and that's how you make your character. When it levels up, you can go, I choose A or I choose B ability. A lot of the time, you're always building the same person because a lot of those abilities, a lot of them suck. So you're forced to just choose A or you're forced to just choose B. This has more like a Path of Exile skill tree set, where as cool. you unlock stuff, a whole bunch more unlock, and there's 4 different categories of each type
That's cool.
that you can level up, and you can build them to be aggressive, be a support, be a tank, be a hybrid, be utility, be a whole bunch of different things, and they're all different per character that you get, basically, right? So you can really customize your characters out to do what you want, which I think is a level that I really, really like in this game. It adds a lot of depth to this style of game.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that a lot. So, recommended. There you go. It is on Game Pass, Ultimate Game Pass for PC. So if you have it on Game Pass for PC, this
Love
is
this
the game
game
that you're looking into. This is your style of game. Go download it. Recommended by Jordan the Man and Mr. McSpicy.
A friend of the show, Toast, was in chat when I was streaming, and he says this is his game of the year. So,
wow.
So Toast says it's his game of the year. So
There you go.
I think it's just fantastic.